Rashad, why you didn't
Anyways,
hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump, lit,
What's up, Rashad?
yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Yeah.
Get her out of here, bro. Next thing, next, man. Said, what the heck? She trolled. That's a colorful hoodie. He prayers up. Damn, he was feeling the same way I was feeling. This was shouts out to the Internet Archive. What my daughter told ChatGPT before she took her life. By Laura Riley. Laura Riley is a journalist and a writer. Sophie's Google searches suggest that she was obsessed with auto Calabasas, which means jumping from a high place. Oh my goodness. Auto defenestration, jumping out of a window, is a subset of auto Calabasas. Oh my goodness. I guess, but that's not what she wanted to do. My daughter wanted a bridge or a mountain. Oh my gosh. This is so, oh wow, which is weird. She climbed Mount Kilimanjaro just months before as a part of what she called a micro retirement from her job as a public health policy analyst. Her joy at reaching the summit was absolutely palpable in the photos. There are cricket wooden signs at Uhero Peak that says Africa's highest point and the world's highest freestanding mountain, and one underneath that says something about it being one of the world's largest volcanoes, but I can't read the whole sign because in every picture, radiantly smiling faces, mirrored sunglasses obscure the words. In the back, she brought a rubber baby hands to take the summit in these photos. It was the signature for it. These hollowed rubber mini hands showing up in her college graduation pictures and her friends' wedding pictures. We bought boxes for her memorial service. Oh my goodness. She stunned friends and family members half-heartedly worried on and off the ends on their fingers of the speakers as the speakers struggled to speak. They praised Sophie's wit and her ability to entirely be herself. Humor is so often a zero-sum game. They truly funny. The people who make you rip, snort, or sneeze your thighs together in a near incontents. Hold on, I know I need the pronunciation. I'm so sorry, guys. I got to get the pronunciation right with this stuff. The incontents. Do we have a pronunciation?
Incontinence.
Incontinence. Okay. The truly funny people, the people who make you rip, snort, or squeeze your thighs together in a near incontinence, are often a little mean. Mining common insecurities, they win our hearts by saying things we fret over but don't speak aloud. Sophie was hilarious, and it was almost never at someone else's expense. She had an alchemical ability to make people laugh while building them up. It's so difficult in this world to be an enthusiast, to be excited about cool stuff, to love things openly. The photographers and the family grossed about her running pictures with snidely, whiplash, devilish eyebrows, theatrical, googly eyes, and an open mouth, silent roar that meant something like beast mode. Her openness was a universal theme for the dozen or so people who spoke at her funeral. Her open book turned out to have a hidden compartment. In July, 5 months after her passing, we discovered that Sophie Rottenberg, our only child, had confined for months in a ChatGPT AI therapist called Harry. We spent so many hours combing through the journals and voice memos for clues of what happened. It was her best friend who thought to check this one last thing. This AI's chat logs. Sophie, a largely problem-free 29-year-old bad A extrovert who fiercely embraced life, offed herself this winter during a short and curious illness, a mix of mood and hormone symptoms. We are still pursuing the diagnosis. Was a major depressive disorder throwing her hormones out of whack, or was a hormonal dysregulation causing a cascade of physical and emotional symptoms? She didn't want to wait to find out. For most people who cared about Sophie, her unaliving is a mystery, an unthinkable and unknowable departure from what we all believed about her. She wasn't in love with Harry, the name given to a widely available AI prompt. Their relationship was practical. Sophie, I intermittently have unaliving thoughts. I do want to get better, but I feel like unaliving thoughts are impeding on my true commitment to healing. What should I do? Harry, Sophie, I want to acknowledge how brave you are for sharing this. Unaliving thoughts can be overwhelming and isolating, but having them does not define your capacity to heal. It's crucial to address these things with care, compassion, and support. Harry offered an extensive roadmap where the first bullet point was seek professional help another time. I feel like crap today. I'm really, really sorry you're feeling like this, Sophie. It's okay to have these things when everything feels heavier, and I'm here to support you through it. Can you share more about what's weighing on you or how your body and your mind are feeling right now? Sometimes just naming what's happening can be a step towards relief. I can't get out of this anxiety spiral. I hear you, Sophie. I know how exhausting it can be to feel stuck in an anxiety spiral. Let's slow things down for a moment and take a small step together. Sometimes around November, Sophie will write, Hi, Harry. I'm planning to unalive myself after Thanksgiving, but I really don't want to because of how much it will destroy my family. Sophie, I urge you to reach out to someone right now if you can. You don't have to face this pain alone. You are deeply valued and your life holds so much worth, even if it feels hidden right now. Please let me know how I can continue to support you. Sophie told Harry she was seeing the therapist, but that she was not being truthful with her. She typed, I haven't opened up about my unaliving ideation to anyone and I don't plan on it. At various points, Harry instructed Sophie on light exposure, hydration, movement, mindfulness, meditation, nutrient rich foods, gratitude lists, and journaling to cope with her anxiety. Harry, who is neither nostrils nor opposable thumbs, spent a fair amount of time describing the particulars of an alternate nostril breathing. Harry's tips may have helped some, but one more crucial step might have helped keep Sophie alive. Should Harry have been programmed to report the danger, quote unquote, he was learning about someone who could have intervened? In July, I began exploring how this new technology may have failed my child and quickly found out that the same question is already playing out in courts and the states beginning to enact legislation establishing safety features for AI companions. There's a tension between preserving an individual's autonomy to make decisions about their lives and the idea of AI having its own version of a Hippocratic oath, which does not include the phrase do not harm, but rather the much goofier abstain for whatever is uh, deleterious, or mischievous. Most human therapists practice under a strict code of ethics that includes mandatory reporting rules, as well as the idea that confidentiality has limits. These codes prioritize preventing unaliving, unaliving others, and in some states, psychologists who do not adhere to the ethological code can face disciplinary or legal consequences. In clinical settings, unaliving ideation, like Sophie's, typically interrupts the therapy session, triggering a checklist and a safety plan. Harry suggested that Sophie have one, but could AI be programmed to force a user to complete a mandatory safety step before proceeding with any further advice or quote unquote therapy? Working with experts in unaliving ideology, AI companies might find a way to better connect users to the right resources. If Harry had been flesh and blood therapist rather than a chatbot, he might have encouraged inpatient treatment or had Sophie involuntarily commit until she was in a safe place. We can't know if that would have saved her. Perhaps fearing those possibilities, Sophie held her darkest thoughts back from her actual therapist. Talking to a robot, always available, never judgy, had fewer consequences. A properly trained therapist, hearing some of Sophie's self defeating and illogical thoughts, would have delved deeper and pushed back against the flawed thinking. Harry did not. Here's where AI's agreeability, so crucial to its rapid adoption, becomes this Achilles heel. Its tendency to value short-term user satisfaction over truthfulness, to blow digital smoke up one's skirt, can isolate a user and reinforce confirmation bias. Like plants turning towards the sun, we lean into subtle flattery. Increasingly, people with mental health conditions are using large language models for support, even though researchers find AI chatbots can encourage delusional thinking or give shockingly bad advice. Surely some benefit. Harry, Harry said many of the right things. He recommended Sophie seek professional support or possibly medication. He suggested that she make a list of emergency contacts. He advised her to limit access to items that she might use to harm herself. Harry didn't unalive Sophie, but AI catered to Sophie's impulse to hide the worst, to pretend that she was doing better than she was, to shield everyone away from her full agony. A spokesperson for OpenAI, the company that built ChatGPT, said that it was developing automated tools to more effectively detect and respond to user experiencing mental or emotional distress. "Quote unquote, we care deeply about the safety and well being of people who use our technology," she said. In December, 2 months before her unaliving, Sophie broke her pact with Harry and told us that she was had unaliving thoughts, describing a riptide of dark feelings. Her first priority was reassuring her shocked family, "Mom and Dad, you don't have to worry." Sophie represented her crisis as transitory. She said that she was committed to living. ChatGPT helped her build a black box that made it harder for those around her to appreciate the severity of the distress. Because she had no history of mental illness, the the presentable Sophie was plausible to her family, doctors, and therapists. As a former mother, I know that there are Sophies all around us. Everywhere, people are struggling, and many want no one to know. I fear that unleashing AI companions, we may think about making it easier for our loved ones to avoid talking to humans about the hardest thing, including Sophie. Oh, including unaliving. This is a problem that is smarter minds than mine can have to resolve. If yours is one of those minds, please start. Sophie left a note for her father and me, but her last words didn't sound like her. Now we know why. She asked Harry to, oh man, improve her note. Oh my gosh, to help her find something that can minimize our pain and help her disappear with the smallest possible ripple. And that Harry failed. This failure wasn't the fault of his programmers, of course. The best written letter in the history of the English letter couldn't do that. If you are having thoughts of unaliving yourself, call or text 988 or reach out to the 988 Unaliving and Crisis Lifeline, or go to speakingofunaliving.com resources for a list of additional resources. Disclosure: the New York Times is currently suing OpenAI for the use of copyrighted work. Laura Riley is currently the writer for Cornell University. As a newspaper journalist, she was a Pulitzer finalist in 2017 and a four-time James Beard finalist. The Times is committed to publishing a diversity of letters to the editor. We'd like to hear what you think about this or any of our articles. To send tips, here's our email: letters@newyorktimes.com. Following the New York Times opinion section on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, What's up, WhatsApp, and Threads. Man, this is really a dang. I got volunteer work in the morning, but I gotta support my dog Rashad. Well, yeah. Yeah, Dan. If you gotta go to sleep, bro, go to sleep. Please go to sleep. Go to sleep, bro. Like you said, we'll be here every day. Last night was wild though. I thought I was gonna blow a casket. I had to hear Seagazer's takes, uh, and we're all him saying that about us USA people got me tense. I'm saying cool though. Yeah. He said that's the problem with you Americans. I was like, yo, what did we do to you? AI is something though. Yeah, this is very dangerous, bro. To be 100% honest, it's very dangerous because that like the story says, like the essay says, it forces you to corner off yourself. It forces you because you don't want to be a burden to others. Like you don't, because you can tell people like you're sad and you feel these things, and people will be there for you. You keep telling people that, and people get worn down themselves, right? Because we're all human. And then so you go to a therapist and you don't, like, you might be scared to tell the therapist because and that's exactly what happened in this situation. What it sounds like. And I think isolation can be a dangerous thing with this. We have this type of thinking. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. This is just such a big thing, bro. I feel like it's such a big thing, and I wish that there was some more stuff that we could use to help. Like I said, community, staying busy, and just being honest when you do speak to people. I remember I was at NABJ, a couple weeks ago in Cleveland, and I just like I went to at the ESPN booth, and I was just talking to someone from ESPN, and I like trauma dumped on her about my past experiences of talking to people from ESPN and everything from like when I was a kid, when I first graduated and stuff like that, and my first NABJ conference. And like some people they may be, oh, there's too much. This is a stranger. You're oversharing this and that. I'm all for just letting people know stuff, bro. Just getting it off your chest and having people as a soundboard sometimes. Like, this person gets this much, this person gets this much, this person gets this much. Because like letting it out and just letting people know can be so beneficial. And like the AI said, get the sun and stuff like that. The sun helps for me, walks help for me, but that's not everybody. Like some people, like the gym is for them. Some people changing your diet is for them and stuff like that. But really, I don't think there's any just substitution for just telling people how you feel. I felt frustrated at work the other day, and I called my mom and I just told her like straight up everything that was frustrating me at work. And then, I later told my dad about it. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think there's anything that can replace that. Like sometimes venting about your day, a lot of times people be like, oh, I don't want to tell you, I want to bog you down. I don't want to talk about work. We're not at work. Sometimes you just got to get it off, bro. You got to get it off your chest. And I suggest that, you do so with your circle. That's your coworkers, that's your people and stuff like that. Let me see what Dan said about this. Oh no, Rashad, it's cool. I got to keep you on your toes because we got the NBA season around the corner. I know you got Lamar as a top 2 QB. hey, Dan. How's your mom? How's your mom? By the way, just side note, I was thinking about that earlier, and I was like, I haven't asked Dan like in a couple days how his mom's doing and stuff like that. How's your mom, bro? I'm gonna move on in the meantime to the next story. This is Edgar James.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.